So, hello. Where are my helpmeets? Helpmeets, join me. I am Yvette Benton of Gerald and Yvette Ministries, author of Help for the Helpmeet, the book that really changed everything concerning my marriage and helping my husband get to the place he needed to be to serve God, to get delivered, for our relationship to thrive. So this is Helpmeet tips and sips. So there'll be lots and lots of tips. I stay up late, so I figured, I could make sure that people get the tips that they need while I'm doing my sipping. So sometimes it'll be sparkling juice. Who am I kidding? Most of the time it will be sparkling juice. And sometimes it will be, coffee or tea, but today, all right, I have to start with, what are we having today? What are we featuring today? We are featuring, and this is my declaration, I will be a brand ambassador someday, but for right now, can I just tell you, I'm not sticking to one brand until someone locks me in. I'm decreeing and declaring I will be a brand ambassador. So today we are featuring Martinelli's apple pear. Martinelli's apple pear. I don't think you guys can see the title, but I just want people to know it is 100% juice. So it's 100% juice, and I'm thrilled to be able to feature the pear. I had mango the other day, apple, caramel. You never know what flavor I might feature for the day. But more importantly, or just as important, because when the evening comes and I wind down, I like to have something to drink while I continue doing my work. What are you all doing? And what are you all sipping? Because you should be joining me sipping something. Sip water, sip tea, hot tea, coffee, iced coffee. Get your sparkling juice on, because we've got to come together. And we are thrilled to be able, what is my favorite? I think now is caramel apple. We had that yesterday, but it's hard to find. I will tell you, the caramel apple is probably the hardest one to find. Someone actually, one of my amazing mentees, had it delivered to me because it is so hard to find. This one is a little easier to find, pear and grape and those kinds of things, but you can shop around because it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So thanks for tagging other helpmeets. I see you all doing that already, and that just makes me smile. So today's tip from my book, Do You Need Help Becoming a Helpmeet Suitable? I did, so I want to help you. So becoming a helpmeet suitable is so important, but it is not impossible because we have Christ. Nothing is impossible through Christ. I will tell you that without Christ, I'm not sure how I could have become or how I can stay a helpmeet suitable, because it is very, very challenging, very, very difficult, but it is possible. So thank you for tagging other helpmeets, and thank you so much for those of you who have already sent me things like, can we talk about this on Helpmeet Tips and Sips, which I love because I want to be able to help you as much as possible. So today's tip, can you serve the king? Woo, woo, woo. Sipping water, good job. Good job, Tracy, if you're at work. Just sip on the water. So wait, I got to sip on that. Can you serve the king? Let me sip. I sip every time things get a little tough. And this one might get tough. Can you serve the king? Now, do I mean serve him like serve him dinner, serve him lunch on a plate? Yes, I'm sure you all could handle that. But serving the king, if you're a helpmeet suitable, can get a little more challenging, but like I said, not impossible. So I want to share with you what I mean by serve the king, because many people that do counseling with me, they'll say, how do you serve a king that is not acting like a king? There's a sip. How do you serve a king that doesn't serve you or treat you like a queen? How about we put some emojis of these cute glasses in the comments, because that deserves a sip. But let me tell you, one of the things I had to learn, and there's a lot about that in this book. I'm going to read directly from page 104. And I'm going to have you turn, if you have it. If not, I want you to look at it at some point. If you're going to become a Helpmeet Suitable, you've got to understand all of these various tips. Ephesians 5 and 22 is very important. Ephesians 5 and 22. I know, that's a long one. Because it reminds us that we are to do what God has asked us to do as a service unto him, meaning God. So Ephesians 5 and 22 is going to remind us, yeah, this is a long gulp one. When we serve our king, that's a big deal. When we serve our king, we're really serving God. And I had to learn. I don't know about you, but at the time that I was learning this, I wasn't feeling very I wasn't feeling like serving my king. Let me just tell you. When God whispered to me, you need to serve him, I was like, I don't think I heard you, God. What? I'm sorry? I'll talk to you tomorrow, God. Because what you're talking about tonight, I'm not sure I want to hear. Can I just be real? You all know I'm transparent. I'm real. I'm going to tell you. After a while, God was like, well, you talk to me when you're ready to do it my way. Oh, God, Holy Spirit has a way of getting your attention. Okay. What do you mean? Read your word. Yvette, read your word. And when I read the word and he brought it right to me, he said, you're not serving Gerald. That's my husband. You're not serving Gerald because Gerald deserves it. You're serving Gerald because it honors me. Whew, God, you gotta do me like that? Okay. When you serve your king, it should be as a service unto the Lord. So what I was doing was I was doing a few things, and then I was watching the marriage, and it wasn't fixing. And it wasn't fixing fast enough. And God said, you've got your eyes on the marriage, which means if the marriage doesn't get fixed, you've decided you're not going to do it. Then he told me, well, check who you're serving. If you've got your eyes on the marriage and you're deciding what you are or are not going to do based on what your spouse is doing, based on how the marriage is going, based on how you feel, then it's instantly not a service unto the Lord. Does God deserve your service? Oh. Y'all do know I love this stuff, right? So I picked a good flavor so that we could take our time. But I promise that these sips and tips would be short and sweet. So basically, if you go to Ephesians 22, and if you're going to be a Helpmeet Suitable, you're going to need to go to Ephesians 22 often. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Because when you're angry, when you're frustrated, when you're not being treated fairly, when you're not being treated right, when the relationship is at its worst, when your spouse is nowhere to be found, when stuff is just not right, God is going to say, you're serving him, but it's because it's a service unto me. Read it for yourself, because I promise I've looked it up, tried to figure some way around it. And God said, what you do unto him is a service unto me. And as long as you can say that I deserve the service, then I want you to serve your husband. And let me tell you, I have to tell you, at this point, I was like, okay, God, you said it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to serve Gerald like I'm serving you. I'm going to pretend Gerald is you, because otherwise I don't think I would have been able to do it. So for a while, I just was like, you know what? When I'm frustrated, God, you deserve this, so I'm going to do it anyway. When I'm angry, God, help me. I refuse to let the sun go down in my wrath, because that's a service unto you. I'm going to treat him like I'm serving you, God. And guess what? I promise. When I started serving Gerald as a service unto God, his behavior started changing. His desire to serve God changed. His desire to get deliverance changed. His desire to be around me changed. Everything changed. Turns out, God knows how to get to his son. Turns out, he created his son, so he knew exactly what I needed to do. Turns out, the word of God works when we work it. Marriage works if you work it. So, the tip of the day is, when you're serving your king, don't do it unto him. Do it unto the Lord. Don't wait for him to deserve it. Don't wait for him to act right. Don't wait for him to do this and that for you. And if he serves me, then I'll serve him. If he loves me, I'll love him back. If he acts right, if he comes home, if he's doing this, if he gets a job, if he makes money. Once you put stipulations, my God, once you put stipulations on what you're doing, all of a sudden, you're not doing unto the Lord. You're basing what your service is unto the Lord on someone else. You don't want to leave your service unto the Lord to someone else's behavior, responses, or actions. When you're serving the Lord, you want it to be what you are doing. So, can you serve the King? I'll bet you can. I'll bet. If you take it one day at a time, don't try to say, I'm going to be able to do it forever. Declare it and give yourself one day at a time and serve him. And I don't just mean hand him something. I mean, treat him like you're talking to God. Talk to him. Serve him. Discuss things with him. Your facial expressions, everything about what you do to him is a service unto God. Read Ephesians 5:22. Do it unto the Lord. It's your service. Do it unto the Lord. It'll change your marriage, I promise. It will change your marriage. Do I have someone that can witness? It will change your marriage. I'm a witness. I promise you. God restored my marriage. God restored my husband. God delivered my husband. My marriage is better than it's ever been. And it really started with a decision to serve God. It really started with a decision to obey his word. It really started when I got rid of what my flesh wanted to do and started doing what God asked me to do. Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. These sips and tips have been fun for me. I almost spilled my... Wait, hold on. Can't spill my sparkling. The featured sparkling today was apple pear. Apple pear. Enjoy your sip while you listen for a tip. If you need my book, it's available on GeraldandYvette.com. If one of my mentees wouldn't mind putting the website up. If you don't have my book and my workbook, you're missing out on a way to become a Helpmeet that is suitable. Thanks for joining me on Helpmeet Sips and Tips. While I sit around and get prepared for the day, I thought I'd assist. Do you guys like these tips? Are they helping you? I gotta find my pen. Are they helping? If they're helpful, let me know. Drop me an inbox. Make sure you've got the book. Does everybody have the book? Just talk to me. I need to know. I need to know. While I sit and prepare. Yes, I'm so glad you have it. I'm so glad it's useful. Make sure you look on page 104. If you have the book, look on page 104. Serve your King as a service unto the Lord. So glad it's helpful. Reach out, look on the website for your other resources that you might need, and have a good evening. Tag a Helpmeet. These tips will help her.